Hey there folks, Alex Lokes here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I have another Lightmeter review for you today. And today I'm bringing you the Gossen Lunasix F. Now, if the meter itself looks recognizable but the name does not, you're probably a fan of the film photography project. And Mike Rosso's praise of the Gossen Luna Pro F. Same meter, just for the American market. And this meter is actually the one I take out 80% of the time when I'm shooting an unmetered camera, mainly my Mamiya M645. So this is actually my third meter. When I first learned about it from the FPP, I ended up buying a Luna Pro F. Unfortunately, it died within a month and I can't get it fixed. So I bought a second meter off of my good friend Trevor Black. And it actually belonged to Sheridan College, where we're filming today. That one met an unfortunate end when it fell down a cliff. So this is actually my third meter, and the fact that I've bought 3 of these shows how much I like it. So let's shift position, and I can start talking a little more about the meter and have the specs listed. So the meter gets its power from a single 9-volt cell, so that's super easy to find in most grocery stores out there. One thing you do have to make note of is this screw here. This is the zeroing screw, so you really want to adjust that every time you change out the battery, or if you feel that your meter readings are starting to be a bit off. And that's just a slot style screwdriver. On the one side, this green button here is your battery test. And then on the other side, you have your activation button and the button you bring out if you're using flash. And you can even lock this down to lock it into on. If not, it's just a push and it's a momentary on, and then it will shut itself off to preserve battery power. Now, the real beauty of this is your front display. Everything you need is centered around this dial here. You use these ridged edges to adjust your ASA settings, and you can go all the way down to 0.8 and all the way up to 100,000. So it actually has a really good range of film sensitivities available to it. So I'll be shooting my HP5 today at 200. So, and then you have here's your actual readout. And you zero out the reading. So you take the reading and the meter will move, and then you just adjust it to 0, and then you have your aperture scale here, which opens up to f0.7 or stops all the way down to f128. So okay for pinhole, not the best. And then you have your shutter speeds displayed at the top, and it goes all the way to 1/4000th of a second, or goes into the hour reading. So 8 hours. So I hope you're using Across 100 because you're going to need that if you're doing an 8-hour exposure. On the front here is where you have your light sensor, your incident reading dome, and then you can actually clip your accessories in. And that's where you clip in your spot meter attachment or your darkroom printing attachment. But enough of my rambling, let's take this outside and give it a test. Hey there folks, and welcome for the field test. Now I'm going to be doing something a little different than I did with the last Lightmeter test that I did, only because 80% of the time I'm using this thing as a reflective meter, and how boring is that? So instead, I'm going to have 4 examples of the 4 different styles of metering you can do with the Lunasix F, and for that I have my crown graphic and 4 sheets of HP5, which I'm going to be exposing at ASA 200 and developing in ADOX Atomol. So we're here at Sheridan College, so let's get started. Now, for simplicity's sake, as I mentioned, I use the reflective metering almost 80% of the time when working with this, either with the spot meter attachment or without. So for the first shot, I'm going to be using it without the spot meter attachment, and it essentially gives me a broad range of the light that is reflecting off of the subject matter and coming towards my light meter here. So I just press the button, I zero it out, and then I match it up to how I want. So I'm getting a reading of f64 at 1/15 of a second. So I've already gone ahead and pre-composed the shot, so I'm going to get the film loaded and take it. And 3, 2, 1. Nice and simple. Incident metering is where you measure the light that is falling on the subject and bouncing off of it into your camera. So for that, you actually put the dome down, you go up to your subject, and you take your meter reading from there. And in this case, I'm going to have a half second at f45. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Almost 90% of the metering I do with large format is spot metering, so having the spot meter attachment is super handy. So metering against this big S, I really just want to meter off of the light that is reflecting off of the S and not sort of catching what's coming off the sides, especially with the background. So I'm going to use the 7.5 degree spot, get a meter of this, and get the shot. And another nice thing about the spot meter is that I'm getting a bit of light off to the side, so it actually won't interfere with my meter reading because I'm using such a small angle. The only trouble is it can be a bit difficult to read. Okay, that's not bad. I'm going to be doing f16 at 1/15 of a second. And let's take the shot. Nice. Now the meter also does have a 15 degree spot meter, so if I'm shooting something larger like a building that I really want to just meter off of the building itself, I can use that to avoid getting any sky if I'm doing any sort of architectural work. So let's see a few more examples of the Gossen in action while I talk about my thoughts on this wonderful little meter. But either way, this is a rugged meter that's tiny, accurate, and fairly simple to use right out of the box. You really don't even need to read the manual. What I really like about it is it's lightweight. It has your lanyard. You can hang it around your neck and just swing it up, take the meter, dial it in, transfer it over to your camera system. And there are several different attachments that you can have for it, including a spot meter attachment, which I will demonstrate. I really like my Gossen Lunasix F. As you've probably assumed, I've gone through 3 of them. And it's always the meter I reach for when I go traveling, or if I'm shooting my Mamiya M645 using the waist level finder. It is the one meter that I will always throw in the bag because it just works. If age is a factor for you and you want something that's a little more modern, Gossen still produces an excellent set of light meters. I'll link some of them below, especially the one that continues the strong lineage of the Lunasix F. So that's always an option for you as well if you want something a little more modern for your bag. As always, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that bell notification icon, hit that like, and in the comment section below, leave me the meter that you always reach for. And of course, get out there, stay safe, shoot some cool film photos.